At this stage, I would like to introduce you to our first panel member. Elaine Kerr is the Director of International Synergies Northern Ireland. She has been an integral part of the development and continuity of the InvestNI resource matching service since 2007. Elaine is an active member of the Chartered Institution of Waste Management and an accredited Waste Smart trainer. I do hope you enjoy the next stage of our webinar. Thank you, and Elaine, I will hand over to you now.
Welcome everybody to this webinar. My name is Elaine Kerr, as Rachel has already explained, and I'm the Director at International Synergies Northern Ireland. We are a global expert in delivering industrial symbiosis projects around the world, and particularly in Northern Ireland, our team is specifically focused on the resource matching service that is provided through InvestNI. Our team is experienced, innovative and passionate about what they do. We're very, very focused on trying to help businesses transition over to circular models. This is so that you can achieve economic, environmental and social benefits for your own organisation, but also for Northern Ireland as a region. The resource matching service through Industrial Symbiosis has been operating since 2007 and is now the longest running facilitated programme in the world and is being cited and cross-referenced at many global events, and they are continually looking to us to see how we are progressing things forward as we get longer in the tooth each year. So it's really a very exciting place to be at the minute. But we're here for you. We're here for the businesses that exist. So in order for you to understand what we do, I need to explain what industrial symbiosis is. In our natural world, there is no such thing as waste. All the animals, plants, microorganisms work together for mutual benefit. Some benefit more than others on occasions, but essentially the benefit is there and there is no such thing as waste. What one organism discards is a valuable raw material for another. And that's what industrial symbiosis is. It's taking our natural ecosystem model and adapting it into an industrial ecosystem where redundant or residual resources of one organisation can be used by another, quite often in a completely different sector. There are real benefits for your organisation by doing this. It'll help you to reduce your operating costs. You will enhance your supply chain. It will help you to collaborate and innovate and to stay ahead of your competition. And it will also help you to reduce your environmental impact. This is just some of the companies that we've worked with over the last 13 years. And as you can see, they're not all food manufacturing companies. We're working with companies within the hospitality and retail and service sector as well. All these companies not only have food waste issues, but many other resource issues that become byproducts to what they're doing as their day-to-day business. Industrial symbiosis can be achieved for almost any resource that you can no longer utilise within your operation. This pie chart shows the breadth of resources that we've matched for organisations within the food sector since 2007. You can see that food waste is actually only a very small proportion of that. The larger proportions are actually for plastics, which include head waste, IBCs and buckets, to name just a few. Opportunities also exist for furniture, equipment and packaging materials. But the team love a challenge, so do let me know if you have a resource that you think is that there isn't a solution for, and we will see if we can find an opportunity for you. We have the unenviable position of working globally, so if we can't find a solution locally, we can very often call on our colleagues across the world to try and find an alternative solution for you. There are clear economic and environmental benefits of resource matching through industrial symbiosis, which will have a really positive effect on your bottom line, especially given the difficult economic climate that many manufacturing, service and retail food companies are working within. A typical synergy or resource match for a manufacturing company will achieve on average cost savings of over £5,000. What you're seeing on the slide is what we've achieved for all food manufacturing and retail and service food companies in Northern Ireland. These benefits are really significant and means that you can draw that money off into other areas of the business where you actually need them. More and more, particularly in a post-COVID pandemic world, we're seeing the need to improve our environmental credentials as businesses as well. Industrial symbiosis helps you do that primarily by diverting materials away from landfill, but very often the synergies can also help you reduce other help you achieve other CO2 reductions through transport improvements or even through process improvements. Again, we've got a growing number of businesses operating in Northern Ireland who are actually looking for redundant materials to use for their new products. Again, this means that we're reducing our reliance on virgin materials like oil, wood, and paper. And this can only be a positive for our environment and for our planet as a whole. So how do we do this? Industrial symbiosis, like most resource efficiency models, apply the waste hierarchy, which is a proven hierarchy of methods of treatment. At the bottom is disposal, which is where you would be sending materials off to landfill. And there is very, very little that can actually be achieved by doing that, other than maybe just getting a little bit of energy taken off the landfill site. But as you move up the triangle towards avoiding generating it in the first place, you will achieve more and more benefit, not just for your organisation in terms of cost effectiveness, but also in terms of environmental effectiveness too, and reducing any damage to the planet. So what we will do is we will visit a site, look at the resources that you have, and then identify what you're currently doing with that resource. The practitioners will then come away and seek to find an alternative solution for you that will move that waste up the hierarchy and hopefully to a position of reuse, reclaim, or recycle. In the best instances, we can actually avoid it being generated, and that would be done generally by referring you back to Invest Northern Ireland for further support and help. This slide just lets you see how we've actually achieved that across the different resource streams that I mentioned earlier. So you can see that there is some processed byproduct ends up in waste to energy, but the majority of even that nowadays is able to be recycled, reused, and reclaimed. This is true for all resource streams, that there are solutions out there. It's just finding them. And that's where the facilitated service of industrial symbiosis stands on its own. If you're left trying in one sector to find a solution for a material that is very, very specific and bespoke, it can be really, really tricky. But our experts are on hand to help you with this. So I want to show you now a case study. The first one is around coffee sacks. Across Northern Ireland, we have a range of coffee roasters who all receive the coffee beans in sacks that are predominantly made of organic material. These sacks are basically discarded by the coffee roasters and no longer needed, and were being sent to landfill. Through engaging with the Industrial Symbiosis Service, they've actually achieved a range of solutions. We've had a number of organisations who've been able to take the coffee sacks to dress sets and stages for various events and music festivals. The resources have also been taken and utilised by Mourne Heritage Trust, where they've been trialling them as a replacement for sheep's wool on the floating paths in the vulnerable peaty ground of the Mourne Mountains. If this works, the Trust envisage a long-term arrangement which would play an important role in the land management and conservation work carried out in the area. The third synergy that we've managed to achieve has been with the Belfast and District Beekeepers Association, who were able to take the sacks, both the damaged ones and the complete sacks, and utilise them within their network of beekeepers. The complete sacks help to protect the hives in very, very extreme temperatures and act as an insulator. The broken sacks can be ripped up into wicks and used for smoking the beehives out when they need to maintain or check for produce like the nectar, like the honey, or even just to check on the health and well-being of the bees within the hive. By doing this, the Beekeepers Association just charged a nominal fee to their members. And from the 200 odd sacks that they took, they were able to buy in a number of new queen bees for our Northern Ireland biodiversity. This means that this diverted waste stream is actually helping to regenerate our essential pollinators across Northern Ireland at any given time. One of the resource streams that comes up across all businesses is actually furniture and furnishings. But predominantly within the food industry and within the hospitality industry, this is a really big issue when any refurbishment work is going on. To date, we've managed to find solutions for baths and toilets and sinks. All that sanitary ware has actually found a reuse home, either through organisations like Habitat, who are able to pass those materials on into some of the more vulnerable clients across our province, who maybe struggle to have new sanitary ware within their homes. In addition to that, a lot of the textiles like curtains and other textiles like carpets can actually be reused by other organisations. Social enterprises have really taken advantage of this and will take these materials and use them for furnishing their own premises or pass them on to more vulnerable people. With the actual furniture, whether it's bedroom furniture or general area furniture, there are organisations in Northern Ireland that can take this furniture, recycle it, upcycle it into new, more modern items, and then sell them on within their charity shops and warehouses. And this again is providing training and education for the more vulnerable in our society. The final case study is actually demonstrating one company's journey over the last 13 years. Frylight is based up in Strabane and is set up to deliver and recycle cooking oils for anyone who does any catering of any significant quantity. Over the last 13 years, they've completed 12 synergies with us and diverted over 5,700 tonnes from landfill and achieved 162,000 in cost savings. Now, those cost savings won't just be to them, they will also be to the people that they've partnered with. As you can see, back in 2010, the first resources that we dealt with were things like sludge residues and buckets. The buckets in particular were broken buckets that couldn't actually be used again, and we were able to put them in touch with a local reprocessor who was able to shred them up and sell that plastic on as recyclate, which has gone on into new products. In 2014, they were still having significant issues with one area of their production process. And from talking with one of the practitioners, they realized that they could actually, we could put them in touch with a company who could help them to move from a manual process to a fully automated process. And that saved them significantly in terms of time and wastage and health and safety issues that were arising at that particular area of the process. In 2015, we had the changes to the food waste regulations, and prior to that, Frylight had been talking with us about how they could take full advantage of that. They decided that the best way they could do it, because they were already working with a lot of catering organisations, that they could actually offer a food waste diversion programme. So they heavily invested into the second business aspect of their business and put the trucks out on the road late in 2015, early 2016. Through working with us, we were able to identify some additional sources of food waste, and those have also been captured as synergies over the years. More recently, through that food waste diversion programme, they identified that they were spending significant amounts of money on transport, on the lorry transportation from Belfast up to Strabane. And at one of our events, they got talking with somebody who was based in Lisburn and realised that they actually had parking space that could be used for the lorries. This has allowed them to trial the possibility of having a Belfast depot. The Belfast depot is now due to open later this month and will continue to help the company to achieve cost savings even in the very difficult climate that exists due to COVID-19. So hopefully you'll have seen from all that I've said so far that there are real opportunities for your business to actually achieve benefits, whether that's through developing new products and finding alternative sources of material, whether it's simply helping you to achieve cost savings and become more savvy in how you operate. It may be that maybe there are some areas of your business where you know that you need to improve your compliance with legislation or regulation, or where by working towards your ISO or BS standards, you realize that you could actually be moving resources up the waste hierarchy. We would be very, very keen to help you with that through resource matching. Again, as I've already said, there are businesses out there who want to take resources and use them within their materials. So maybe what you're currently putting in a skip and considering as a waste could actually be used by somebody else in Northern Ireland to produce a product. So please do get in touch with us. We are here to help you. We're here to support you. The service is free. We do run events like this. We do have in the past had face-to-face resource matching workshops, and we're currently working on how to pivot those onto an online event similar to a webinar. But our team of practitioners is available on the ground. They're available by phone, email, and can also conduct their advisory meeting either face-to-face or virtually, whichever suits your business best. They're also here to provide you with the introductions that you require to answer your questions, or even just simply to send you to someone else who can actually help you better with what you're trying to do. They will keep in touch with you throughout the process of resource matching. They will conduct regular reviews with you, and particularly if you're actually matching any resources, is what we call a synergy, they will actually capture the benefits and the outcomes from that for you, so that you can concentrate on your normal business. But we're here to support you at every step in the way. So please do get in touch and let us know if we can be of any further help or support. Thank you very much.
Elaine, thank you very much for that brilliant presentation. It was really informative. I'd just like to encourage everybody that to pop any questions in the chat function if you have any questions for Elaine, and we can pick that up at the end.